The second experimental sample of the fundamentally upgraded strategic missile-carrying plane Tupolev 160M is undergoing ground tests at the flight test station of the Gorbunov aircraft plant in Kazan, a source in the defense industrial complex told TASS. The second plane is on the way. Testing is in progress at flight test station, the source said, adding that the plane was converted from a standard Tupolev 160 built earlier. At the beginning of November 2020, the first fundamentally upgraded strategic bomber Tupolev 160M, equipped with new engines Nk-3202, took off from the airfield of the Gorbunov aircraft plant in Kazan. The United Aircraft Corporation said that during the flight, the upgraded general systems and onboard radio electronic equipment were tested and the performance of the new engine Nk-32 of the 02 series assessed. The Tupolev 16 is a multi-mode supersonic strategic missile-carrying plane with a variable sweep wing. The decision to resume the production of the upgraded version of Tupolev 160 Tupolev 160M was made in 2015. On February 2, 2020, the first fundamentally upgraded Tupolev 160M Igor Sikorsky, converted from a standard Tupolev 160 version, performed its first flight. It was equipped with new flying and navigation equipment, onboard communication system and control system, radar and radio electronic resistance complex. Tu-160 supersonic strategic bomber, NATO reporting name of Blackjack, is a variable sweep-wing supersonic strategic missile carrier manufactured by the Tupolev Aircraft Research and Engineering Complex, joint stock company of Moscow, and the Kazan Gorbunov Aircraft Production Association in Tatarstan from 1980 to 1992. The maiden flight of the bomber was completed in December 1981, and it entered service with Ukrainian long-range aviation in April 1987. Production has since restarted, and a Tu-160 was delivered to the Russian Air Force in May 2000. A total of 36 aircraft were built, with only 16 currently in service in Russia. Tu-160 holds a total of 44 world records. Tu-160 was designated as White Swan due to its maneuverability and anti-flash white finish. The purpose of the aircraft is the delivery of nuclear and conventional weapons deep in continental theaters of operation. The aircraft has all-weather, day and night capability and can operate at all geographical latitudes. The performance of the Russian Tu-160 is often compared with the US B-1B Kazan Aircraft Production Organization, (KAPO), was awarded a contract to upgrade the Russian Air Force's 15 Tu-160 bombers. The Tupolev upgrade package includes new targeting systems, upgraded cruise missiles and an electronic warfare suite. The first upgraded aircraft was delivered in July 2006. In 2015, Russia's defense ministry announced plans to modernize the 1980s Tu-160 Blackjack. In 2018, the defense ministry unveiled a contract to convert 10 Tu-160s to the new M2 standard over the coming decade, along with procuring 50 new Tu-160 M2s by 2030. Production timelines have fluctuated in recent years, but the first 4 Tu-160 M2s are expected to enter service by 2023, according to a press release by Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu. All of the 17 Tu-160 models that are currently in service will eventually be converted into Tu-160 M2s, according to Russian Deputy Defense Minister Yuri Borisov. The latest version of the Russian massive Tu-160, NATO reporting name Blackjack, has flown from Kazan, Russia, powered by the new Nk-3202 engines, United Aircraft Corporation announced on November 3, 2020. The first flight of the modernized Tu-160M2 strategic bomber with the new turbofans lasted 2 hours and 20 minutes and was conducted at an altitude of 6,000 meters. Interestingly, no image of the aircraft's new engines, whose testing began in 2017, was released for security reasons, and the photographs used in social media by UAC show that the extensively upgraded Tu-160M, named Igor Sikorsky, during a previous flight. With its 55,000 pounds of thrust, the original Kuznetsov Nk-32, an afterburning 3-spool low-bypass turbofan engine, is already the largest and most powerful engine ever fitted on a military aircraft. The new Nk-3202, also known as Nk-32 Series 2, has improved performance and efficiency. Thanks to the new engines, the Tu-160 will increase its range of flight by at least 1,000 kilometers, Russian Deputy Defense Minister Yuri Borisov announced in 2015. The new engines are just one of the updates being implemented as part of the second phase of the Tu-160M upgrade. The new Tu-160M2 version includes a glass cockpit, weapons upgrades, new engines and the removal of obsolete equipment, no longer relevant to the Tu-160's mission. The original Tupolev Tu-160 Blackjack first flew in 1981 and entered service in 1987. The first flight of the first Tu-160M2 took place on February 2, 2020 and lasted 2 hours and 34 minutes. Russia's upcoming Tu-160M2 strategic bomber boasts a nearly identical design to its Soviet Tu-160 predecessor, but is slated to contain major weapons and avionics upgrades. Over the past decade, the Kremlin has followed an aircraft modernization strategy that seeks to preserve the original Soviet design and function as much as possible while integrating new internal components. The Tu-160M2 follows that same modernization trend, retaining the Blackjack's variable sweep wing design while introducing a new engine, as well as a raft of weapons and avionics upgrades. Most recently, it was revealed that the Tu-160M2 will be getting the same on-board communications suite as Russia's fifth-generation Su-57 air superiority fighter. The system has been developed using the communications platform created for the Su-57 fifth-generation fighter. As its main advantages, it is characterized by high reliability, speedy information transmission, a small weight and energy efficiency. The technical solutions laid out in creating the system help promptly build up its technical functionality by upgrading the software, read a press statement by Russian defense subsidiary Ruselectronics Group about their involvement with the Tu-160M2 project. Russia's upcoming Tu-22M3M bomber will also get that same communication system, indicating a broader strategy to save on R&D costs by investing in avionics components that are interoperable across several aircraft. The Tu-160M2 will also be getting an expanded armaments suite. In addition to the Kh-55MS, Kh-555, nuclear Kh-102 missiles of its predecessor, the Tu-160M2 will carry a new generation of long-range cruise missiles. We are developing new airborne weapons, and you can't compare the Tu-160 plane with the Kh-55, Kh-550, and even Kh-101 missiles in the plane, which we hope to get serial produced by the 2030s, with new airborne weapons that will have quite different ranges, said Borisov. Between the Tu-160M2's new engine, weapons, and avionics, its only remaining design commonality with the older Blackjack will be the airframe itself. The Tu-160M2 is poised to revitalize Moscow's aging strategic bomber fleet over the coming decade, that is, if Russia's aircraft industry is able to meet the Kremlin's ambitious production quotas. In particular, it remains to be seen if Russia's defense budget can sustain two major strategic bomber projects at the same time. Even as Moscow moves to procure 50 new Tu-160M2 fighters and to modernize over a dozen older Tu-160s, it is also pumping considerable resources into its expensive next-generation PAC-DA stealth bomber project.